For the most part, here on Tech and Tomorrow, stuff that has to do with Apple, iPhones, and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of a lukewarm subject on our channel. You know, we're not really known for that kind of stuff, but I happened to see a video on Unbox Therapy that I thought was very, very interesting. And I thought I would share with my PC, user group. So check this out. Right now, it looks like Apple is going to be making iPhones in India, and they're going to be coming to market at about $150. That's right. $150 for an iPhone. Now, India is going to be one of the absolute biggest markets in the world, for selling iPhones. And I guess currently phones are a little bit too expensive over there for the people's budget, so they need something that's going to be very, very affordable. And my question in today's video is, this is all great news. India's got a great big population, so they're going to get phones that are affordable. But now, is this going to translate over to the American market? And if it does, how will it actually affect the American market overall? And my big question to you guys is this. If you could buy yourself a really nice iPhone and it was only going to cost you $150 to $200, would that make you switch from your Android over to an Apple user group? Because I think that many people probably would. I mean, let's just face it. We know that right now, the new iPhone XRs and all these phones, they're like $800, $900. Cell phones are really outrageously priced. I think they are overall, just in general, way overpriced. I mean, they're not really a computer, they're just smaller. So I guess you're paying for smaller technology, and paying the big budget. Because let's just face it, cell phones are very, very, very expensive. It trips me out because even little kids seems to have really expensive cell phones these days. I go to restaurants and I see a whole family, including little kids, everybody just playing, on their cell phone at the same time, not talking. So, I mean, are they really worth that much money? Now, if Apple could translate these sales of iPhones over to the United States at $150 to $200, even myself, I think I would consider translating over. Because let's just face it, if you can get a phone that's going to have features that are as well or maybe even better than some of the Samsung or Android phones that are out there on the market, people are going to really want to gobble this up. They really will, because the phones will be super duper affordable. Now, if this is actually going to totally happen, I'm not sure. I'll have a link down below also to the Unbox Therapy video where Lou talked to them and talked about a lot of different things about their market, the pricing, and all this different stuff. But at the end of the day, I really have to say, if Apple can somehow get those phones over here to the USA at that low of a price margin, I think they would dominate the market. Because people don't want to spend $800. And even if you're a person who's an Android lover, if you have to pay $900 to get a new cell phone, or you could just switch over to an Apple phone and only pay $200, the numbers are pretty obvious. And at the end of the day, price usually dictates sales. Now, obviously, you're going to have your fanboys, the people who only want to buy Apple stuff. They're going to buy that regardless. But people who are, Android lovers, if the phones are priced the same, they're probably not going to go out of their market. You know what I mean? If you're paying $800 for an Android, you're paying $800 for a phone it's an iPhone that has their OS on it, their iOS on it. You're probably not going to want to switch. You're familiar with the platform that you work on, you're comfortable, you have your phone. But when it comes time to buy a new phone, if you go down to the store to buy a phone and they tell you, oh, well, that phone you have right there is $900, but we have these brand new phones from Apple that have all the features of their major phones, but are only $200, you're going to be like, wow, okay, this is something to consider. So I'll have a little poll up here on the top. I want to know what you guys think. If you could buy an Apple phone at really a quarter of the cost of what all the major phones out there are, would you switch from Android? Would you jump over and hop on the Apple train and use the iOS happily if it was that cheap of money? Or would you just be completely set in your ways and say, no way am I ever going over to Apple, regardless of the price? Price means nothing to me. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Please leave comments down below. Please leave comments down below. If you guys aren't subbed to the channel, hey, please sub the channel. If you don't have notifications turned on, hey, turn on notifications so you can see the videos coming into your box. We got lots of killer stuff coming here in 2019. But at the end of the day, hey, would you switch to an iPhone? It was really cheap. I think maybe I would. What about you?